Hey guys, how's it going? I just felt like shooting kind of a short video explaining some of the news items that came up in the last day, some of which you probably already know. It is after work. We have another snowstorm. Not too bad right now. I think it's going to snow more tonight, but I'm just waiting for my van to warm up a little bit. Anyway, let's get the main subject out of the way. So this, not to be dismissive of it, I'm sure you've heard of it if you follow this topic. So yesterday was the huge news of Luna and her task force. That all came out yesterday at 2 p.m. Central Time. So just real quick, follow some of these other channels like Christian Harloff. He talked about it on his channel, but especially check out this one right here. Hold on one second. I'll show you Cico Activo podcast. However you pronounce it. He kind of pronounces it in a weird way when he says it really fast. He did a great thing on it yesterday. I'll show you what to look for right here in particular. So check that video out. That was really informative. Now, again, full disclosure, this is a non-Christian source. He's talking about here, he just released this an hour ago. This is today's video. Very important. Talks about how Ross Coulthart is doubling down on psionics, and of course that has to do with summoning these demons or aliens, whatever. So he talks a lot about that and some Roman Catholicism in Mexico and some other stuff I've known about that. So it's important to talk about those things and expose them and all that stuff. So anyway, so basically, if you haven't heard, and it is what I thought it would be. You can just read my post right here. Declassification of government secrets related to JFK, RFK, MLK, but also UAP and USO, and it's interesting that they separated those two things. COVID origins, 9/11, Epstein files, and I think that's what they all mentioned. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything there, but I'm sure there could be other things that would come up, but of course the biggest thing being the UAP USO type of deal there. And then they talk about a hearing which would be scheduled in March sometime, and I think that's mostly just related to the JFK files, so I don't really know what exactly that is going to look like, but lots of interesting stuff going on. Of course, UAP being the biggest thing there. I don't know if how much longer we will have to wait on all of that. But anyway, I said hopefully it won't be Arrow 2.0, and I have more faith in this, especially considering all of those in Trump's cabinet. And it looks like Tulsi Gabbard is going to make it through. That's huge. And guess what? She did make it through today. It's official. And I was going to have a video of it. It's kind of hard to find because every time I type anything related to her online, searching for a different video from back in December, all the stuff comes up from today's news, so it's really hard to find anything. I did find something before, now I can't find it again, but there is something with her. There's like a 30 or 40 second clip of her talking about how she promises to have transparency on UAP and the drones. So I'll get to more of that in a second. So I don't know if I really have too many other thoughts. I think I shared this already about Tim Gallaudet. He met with Trump's cabinet or someone from his team late last week. So I want to get to a post I did the other day. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, got some workout stuff in there and some funny stuff. Let's see, was it this one? Yes, it was this one. Now, I kind of got into a big disagreement of sorts with this guy. He's a friend of mine, Vin. I'm not going to get into that, but I was talking about the drone issue. But I did post something today, another reply to him. Lots of stuff. I'm not going to get into that whole thing. I'm just very upset with Trump not being upfront with the American people about the drone issue, and I think we've already talked about that. But it shouldn't get to the point where we do not hold our leaders accountable, even if we are obsessed with them and we think he can do no wrong, whatever. Look, I'm a huge Trump supporter, but he's not a savior, right? And he did a huge disservice by just kind of dismissing the whole drone thing. But anyway, so I talk about this, and this came out, I believe, yesterday. Check out this podcast, guys. It stands for Unidentified Alien Podcast. Very good podcast. I'll just read what I kind of said about it, and this mostly relates to the drone issue, but this was a fascinating interview with a higher-up Air Force veteran. He had a lot of great things to say about the drone coverage being dismissed. He made a very interesting point. Trump is keeping his promises, and I agree, and I'm very happy for everything he's doing pretty much. And one thing I did not say in here that I will say real quick, the one thing I disagree with Trump, of course, is the drones, but there is another thing, not related to his promises or anything like that, but it's who he is surrounding himself with as far as spiritual leaders. So if you don't know, well, look it up, but yeah, it's like false teachers galore. Not exactly great. I like what who's that fiery preacher who's well known for his youth message, who says, like, I don't know why you're clapping, but I'm talking about you. Why? He's like on the tip of my tongue. He's very well known. I can't think of it. He had a post about it, which is pretty cool, that he would explain the gospel to him and such if he had like a few minutes with him. But anyway, just to make sure that Trump really understands it, because he does surround himself with people who are kind of on the fringe of so-called Christianity. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get back to this. But the drone issue is the only thing he did not keep his promise on. I think that's very interesting. It was brought up during this podcast. And there's a lot of fascinating insight that this man, who is an Air Force veteran, also another person who is higher up in the military, spoke to the host, Stephen Diener, and told him that after that report from Trump, for the first time in his military career, he was scared. And he's seen some stuff, but this takes the cake. So take that for what it's worth. And at this time, I was still listening to the podcast. I'm finished now, but I'm still listening, but he just made a point how it's very dangerous for law enforcement to not be told the truth about this, and he's explaining that. I still have like 39 minutes to go. And by the way, when this like OBJ stuff comes up, it's because I'm, posting this on the iPhone. Man, I can complain about the iPhone a lot, but it's really hard to make posts, especially using voice to text. Like whenever I make a voice to text with the iPhone, like it'll leave a space in between the period and the last letter of a sentence. I have no idea why. So, but then when I try to correct things, that can be problematic, and always leaves this OBG. So I have to like go back in there on my regular phone right here and delete it. Anyway, something huge is going on, and that is being covered. Now, I'm really happy for Tulsi Gabbard, as it sounds like she made it. She promised to not hide anything from the public about the drones. I hope she keeps her promise on that. Yesterday, a major announcement was made. And I posted about that. And that's speaking about the thing with Luna. Posted about it yesterday, and of course, like, nobody cares. I just don't know why we were given nothing to see here type of response, and nobody has anything to go or anywhere to go, and things are still happening, but it's left out of the media, and the administration isn't talking about it. Wow, it's hard for me just to read my own stuff. I forgot to say that the guy being interviewed, again, is a higher up in the Air Force, and it's been through, and I think I meant he's been through and done a lot, and not just a 4-year gig. So he's been like career military for a little while. He also lives in New Jersey and has seen these things. Even just like, I think it was like last week he explained in like part 1 or whatever, maybe in this part 2, I can't remember, but over his house. But he's been seeing it over his house, and lives right down the street from a mayor of the area that was just on his show like about a week or 2 ago on the same show. Anyway, I just picked up my phone from where I left off, and this is what came up next, coincidentally, but everything else before it was pretty enlightening. I'll play this for you guys to hear.
We have to let the public know what's going on. We have to do it ourselves.
There is a little bit of echo.
And hauling people in front of Congress under oath, explaining why they're putting our first responders, our military, and the public and our children at risk with this freaking research. It's damaging national security. If they can't fly out of Langley, if they can't get our F-22s and F-35s in the air because the FAA is screwing around, big problem, right? So none of it makes sense. It's all swamp gas. They're hiding the truth again. And it's going to be just up to us, we the people in the public, collecting our own data, getting our own videos, our own radar tracks, and we have to let the public know what's going on. We have to do it ourselves because they are not going to tell us the truth.
Yeah, it sure seems that way now, doesn't it? Unfortunately. On that note, I'll switch it up here before we.
All right. And guys, you got to check out the rest of that podcast. It was fascinating. Some of the stuff he said at the end. He does get into like the religious side of things. I mean, he is a Roman Catholic, Stephen Diener, the host, and he kind of talks about that a little bit. Interesting though that this guy, the one he was interviewing, forgot his name. This guy, Jeff, however you pronounce his last name, he did talk about how he was talking to a couple of like people, Roman Catholic researchers. They don't think it's demonic. They think it's some kind of different entity altogether. But anyway, Stephen Diener might have one of the guys he was talking about, but he said something about this guy being involved with the Soul Foundation. And I think that's interesting because they want to kind of control the disclosure. They had a 10-year plan, if you remember that, the Soul Foundation folks. But that's the religious side, being involved with that, Roman Catholicism, trying to drive the message. Now, I think that there should be some legit Christian representation, and I don't know if there is. I mean, to be honest, to be fair, I didn't know about the folks from the Roman Catholic side of things being involved with that, but they're researching it. They're having a part to play in it, a say in it, and it still behooves me that Christians don't want to talk about this. They don't want to get involved for some crazy reason. They don't want to be part of the conversation. But that's why I'm trying to do, I'm just an average Christian giving my thoughts on this, mostly just presenting the news as it comes out. I apologize for the guerrilla style filming, just filming a screen on my other cell phone here. But, at least I'm getting the message out there for a couple people to see. Let's see, what's this? I forgot what I said here. Oh, this is still, that's all that other post. Yeah, so I did post about it here. I'm kind of excited about Tulsi Gabbard making it through because I want disclosure. I want to know what's up. I don't know what's up with this picture. It kind of looks like they're getting too close. Why do they have to post that picture? But whatever. Yeah, of course, nobody cares. Yeah, but guys, let's see what happens with this thing right here, this task force of sorts. And again, this is Christian Harloff's thing right here. Check that out. And then also Seco Activio and his channel. That's Pavel. I think, did I cover everything? There's probably something else I wanted to say with this whole thing, but that kind of covers the news for today. A lot of stuff. I mean, man, there's a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of stuff that I still have to look at. I'm sure Vetted has something going on for today. Let's see here. Oh, not even on the screen. Let's see what Vetted has to say today. He doesn't miss a day, y'all. Stephen Greer was almost taken by aliens. Okay. Whitley Strieber reviews new details about his alien implant. That was yesterday. Lou Elizondo is building Doomsday Bunker for 2027. Alien Invasion. I haven't even checked that out yet. So, okay, I'm not too far behind on stuff. But, yeah, I'll just keep you guys updated as things come out. I do want to do more explanatory videos. Hold on, I don't want to, reveal a whole lot of, personal information. Opening my notes right now. Here, you can take a look at this nice, pretty Wisconsin weather. Where are some of you guys out there who are watching my content? Where do some of you guys live? But yeah, I have a whole notepad here opened up. UAP show ideas, and yeah, I think I've showed this before, but I've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yeah, I'll be a little bit transparent. Just pick a random thing. Second part was great. Okay, I must be talking about something specific. But yeah, make a video devoted to what if these are off-world beings? Just kind of toying around with the idea. What if it really isn't a demonic being, or maybe it's multiple things, and one of those things just happens to be a legit thing that God created in his universe, off-world, that where they live for whatever his purposes may be. Yeah, lots of end time stuff that I want to talk about. Do an episode on should Christians be for UFO, UAP disclosure, pros and cons. Pros. Good stewards in government, opportunity for gospel, show the Bible is true. Honestly, you can take any mundane thing and turn it into a gospel opportunity, but maybe for certain people, bring it into a light. The reality of a spiritual realm might help those people. So, looks like I didn't get to the cons right there, but somebody did kind of comment on one of my videos recently that made me think about that more. Like, what if, like, okay, so this stuff gets revealed, as true, that there's something out there, regardless of where they think it came from, what they say about that. Would that help for evangelism? And I'm kind of two minds about that. And then also another pro real quick about that, being good stewards in government and such. There's been crimes committed. People have been murdered over this. So say a lot of people that have come forward. So there's that too. But anyway, yeah, I do have a lot to say about that. Like, could we use this topic as a way to evangelize? Like, oh, hey guys, look, it's proof that demons exist, that the Bible is true. Would that help? I have thoughts going both ways on that. But it is true, though. You can take any subject and turn it into a good gospel conversation. Just watch anything Ray Comfort from Living Waters. If you're not subscribed to the Living Waters YouTube channel, please do. And also subscribe to their... Hold on. Let's see if I can find it. They have a podcast. I don't remember what it's called, to be honest with you. I forgot. But you got to check it out. I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to it on this app right here. Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh, check this out too. It's really good. And this isn't it either. Nope, that's not it. Anything Ray Comfort is really good stuff. Maybe it's... Oh, it's not that. Did I just go that? Well, right here, the Living Waters podcast. Let's see. I think it was this one right here. This was a very, very good episode. Now, I guys, like, I don't listen to all the episodes, but every time I do, I am just completely blessed. Like, I'm always in a good mood after listening to any of their episodes. I wish that they would do more on this topic. I think I don't know if they did on this particular series, this podcast series. I'm not really sure, but they don't really talk about it a whole lot. But anyway, the point is that they can use anything to share the gospel. If you've seen any of his videos on Living Waters on the YouTube channel, take any major topic of the day, turn it into a gospel presentation. And yeah, you don't even have to like debate with somebody about that issue that you might start with. Like, he likes to use politics a lot, and just use that as a springboard into a conversation about spiritual things. And who cares if they're right or wrong about, the first point that you get them hooked on into the conversation. Just get to the gospel. And yeah, it's really effective. And that's how I've been evangelizing, going through the 10 Commandments, showing their need of salvation, showing the reason why they need the Savior. It's great. Check out this episode. If you do nothing else, check this one out right here. And Ray Comfort's not even in that episode. He was gone for, I forgot why, but it's just the other guys talking. But very good episode. Anyway, is there anything else? Oh yeah, I was talking about this stuff. So yeah, I have to make an episode on that. Not just news, but just some of these more explanatory biblical things. I do have a lot of thoughts on that, though. If something is revealed that there are demons out there, or the Bible is true, whatever, does that automatically mean that, like, oh yeah, everyone's just going to be on board right away and accept Christ? Not exactly, and I'll explain why. Should I read more of these? This is kind of fun. I'm having a good time. I should get home. But maybe talk about how this phenomenon has been going on all throughout human history. Pitch the 10-part episodes on the show Cultish. That's an awesome podcast. They did the 10-part series back in August of 2023. I highly recommend it. I can talk about that. It could be multiple things. Masquerading as angels of light Bible verse, or in Galatians, that even if an angel were to come down from heaven, Yeah, definitely talk about that. Hey, maybe I can get Glenn Grothman on as a guest. He's a congressman that represents me in my area. Actually, it's kind of funny because back in October, I was at a Pumpkin Fest parade in Michigan, and Glenn was there handing out his materials. He was right in front of me, handing me his card. I was trying to find him afterwards. I wanted to ask him about this situation because like just 1 month later, he was part of that hearing, that big one back in November 13th, was it? You know, he was the second chair, and that it was Nancy Mace and Glenn Grothman, and I was right there. He hung around after the parade too. I saw on his Facebook profile, but I couldn't find him afterwards. Usually I do a lot of evangelism in parades. Not sure if you guys know this. If you check out my other channel, Parade the Gospel, I usually hand out gospel tracts during parades. I just, yeah, I've probably done like 50, 60, maybe more parades since 2013. Just hand out gospel tracts. Very, very great way to get hundreds, even thousands of gospel tracts in a given parade. Even just one person single-handedly can get 500 or more gospel tracts. So I think I've gotten, you know, one time I tested it, I think I have a video where like I gave out, was it 200 gospel tracts in 5 minutes or something like that? Anyway, just consider checking that out. Yeah, there's a lot. Caution that we need to be silent where the Bible is silent, but it's okay to look at what we see. So yeah, just all kinds of ideas here. Talk about other phenomena too, ghosts and hauntings, and my story. I already did that. Skinwalker Ranch, Mothman, etc. I hold God's word to be true. I want you guys to understand that. Yeah, I need to have like different tenets for the show. Like one of them that being the Bible verse. Wait, what? Oh, not being ignorant of the wiles of the devil. Yeah, just different things. I got just like random things all over the place. Yeah, and I thought about different show name ideas. So there's that. Early on naked video of all my main sources. Okay, I probably didn't mean the word naked. It's probably a voice to text there. I don't know what I meant by that. Yeah, all kinds of things, guys. I gotta start getting into some of that stuff. I don't have to work tomorrow. Maybe I can have some time. I just know I'm working out tonight in my downstairs basement gym. Once it warms up, I'll be back in the garage. Let's see, talk about, regarding the heart of man. That's one of my favorite subjects, and it does relate to what I was just talking about regarding, you know, is it a good idea for having UFO disclosure specifically for that of evangelism and trying to prove, hey, there's more to life, you know, than just us humans. Hey, let's investigate why the Bible might be true. I mean, yeah, I can use that, but just about a caution to be exercised. Might be tempted to think that, I know I certainly have, and even still, and not to say that there isn't a place or maybe some value, but this idea that if the government discloses what it knows and it brings truth to the reality of God's word, and that there is really a spiritual world and demons and things like that, you know, it's just say that the government just flat out comes out and says that. Again, I would love to know what they think that they know, blah, blah, blah. Let's get to the point. But if they were to come out and say that, hey, those UFOs and UAP and what we're seeing, and the stories of abductions and everything else, long history, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I know. Be wild. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. What if they come out and just enough stuff, and we feel that we can make the case, a biblical case, that the Bible is true because these things are demons, and not just any demons, or from any lore. I probably have some corrections I have to make in here, voice and text stuff, but demons as described in the Bible. I mean, to be honest with you, I've tried making the case to prove the Bible in an apologetic mode by talking about aliens and demons. I've done it already, and I'm sure others have, and we might think that, hey, now we have something or another thing to prove the Bible is true and get people to become Christians, yay. But that's what I want to talk about today. I think I'm just like reading this or typing this out as if it's like a script. I'm going to take a big swing here and claim something, and this is something I've been studying for, I don't know, the last 15 years, and that's the heart of fallen man, and what does the Bible say about it? I'm not going to go super in depth. Yeah, I talk about my other, like my first YouTube channel, Pursuing 222. I did a video on that that is really important that would explain a lot. Let me just find it really quick for you guys. You guys can check out the pretty Wisconsin weather here. Pursuing 222. Here, this is like the first YouTube channel. Now, recently, I've put out last year or 2 years ago, I did a lot of sign language stuff for my wife, really. But you can just dismiss all of that. I had a show on here a long time ago called Eternal Truth. And it did not go nearly as far as where I wanted it to at all. But right here, the last one I ever did. What does the Bible say about unbelievers? Now, this is the first and only unscripted one that I did. And wait, is this the one? Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna keep on moving on for sake of time, and we can talk about this, guys.
Yeah. So yeah, I go over a lot of stuff, but it's very important as it relates to what I'm talking about. Over the years, like I used to be huge into apologetics early on in my Christianhood. Not so much anymore. Not saying that it's bad or that there's no place. Definitely not saying that. But I think sometimes there's way too much emphasis on that. I think a lot of these videos over here are just like videos I've had from a long time ago on Facebook, and I just wanted to get up on YouTube. So yeah, I haven't really. Here's a kind of related thing. Should Christians debate with atheist unbelievers as much as we do? And then the rest is just sign language stuff. But yeah, it goes back quite a ways. I wanted originally to do this channel as like a video game thing. I used to watch a lot of Let's Plays where people play through video games, and yeah, they can just talk, and I wanted to use that as an outlet to share the gospel. And then I created Mega Christian X YouTube channel, which I was kind of hoping to do it on there, but that kind of fell through, and I just posted a few videos on there, and yeah, I didn't really do much with that. Yeah, but you can see I posted a lot of videos a while ago, and then eventually I did Parade the Gospel, and that's kind of like my main YouTube channel. So yeah, this is when Eternal Truth started. I think that was 2012, I want to say. I had like so many ideas for that you know, didn't really go anywhere. My wedding stuff is on here, but yeah, anyway, so that's it, you guys. Didn't think to talk. I was going to talk for 27 minutes, but God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you later.